I did my first play in New York, and I was lucky that Peter Brook happened to be in town, and he read in the New York Times a review by Clyde Barnes saying that this young unknown director from Eastern European country comes to New York to show us what real theater is like. Reading that sentence made Peter Brook curious to come and see the show. So he came to see the show that night. So when Ellen told me that Peter Brook is coming, I almost fainted because he was like a great inspiration for everybody, especially for young ones. He saw this and then he invited me to come and work with him in Paris for 1 year in his center of theater research that were actors and directors from all over the world coming to work together. And that was, for me, the great change of direction in my life. The year with Peter Brook was the year in which all that was cut. All my joy, all my enthusiasm, cut. No. So where Ellen was saying yes to everything. Everything I wanted, yes, baby, do it. Everything was telling Peter Brook I'd like to try, no. Why don't try? What's the intention? I said, I don't know the intention. If you don't know the intention, you don't do it. So it was harsh, extremely severe, and made us all think, not only me, all think, why the hell did we choose this profession? Why are we in the theater? What is my responsibility? Because joy and pleasure, enthusiasm, wonderful, but how do you pay back for having all this given to you? Because, it's a given. And it was a year of excruciating pain to be with him, but at the same time, at the end of that year, I felt that I have a direction in life, that I have a calling, and I have to even understand, to hear the calling. What is my calling? What is that I am here for? What is that I am born to do? And I don't know what it is. So I felt that somehow is always a payment, that you have to pay for what you are given, to pay back. Pay back in effort, pay back in suffering, pay back in not knowing, but pay back. After the year with Peter Brook, that ended up with Orghast, the famous production of Orghast in Persepolis. That means we went to Iran, invited by the Empress of Iran. The Persepolis, Shiraz-Persepolis, was the best festival in the world. And she invited Peter Brook, and Peter Brook and his company, of which I was part of, we did this play in the ruins of the desert of Persepolis, called Orghast, in which the spoken text was in ancient Greek, ancient Latin, and the famous English poet Ted Hughes, who invented a kind of a Esperanto language that didn't belong to anybody, with the idea that sound, experimenting with sound, and the value of sound, of pure sound, not of words, not of understanding language, but of pure sound, can travel, can communicate, can relate to meaning. For 1 year, we spent experimentation with a group of 25 people, or actors, directors, writers, to experiment with the unknown possibilities in human sound. And also experimented with the language Avesta that's in Iran, in old ancient Persia, was a language that was used exclusively for prayer and ritual. So it was not at all something that we speak, that we understand. So it was just a kind of a series of vowels and consonants and syllables which had a total musical rhythm, and they were used in order to communicate vibrations of religious order in order to be captured or received up there. And of course, we didn't use it at all in a mystical sense, nothing to do with our work or theater research. But because it was in the desert, and because it was among the ruins, the quality of the sound there, with the old kings, the Xerxes, the Artaxerxes, the Darius, all these old kings that had their tombs there in stone. And that's what we played. That's what we asked the audience to come and watch, something that they had no idea what it was. And you didn't understand because there was no play. Now, that was possibly the most, the most far-reached experimentation I have witnessed in the theater ever.